Whenever you're ready.
So, what if I told you that you can be good without a God? According to my audience analysis, 5 out of 14 students in this class believe that you need a God to have morals, and they're also referring to atheists. Some notable atheists are Bruce Lee, a martial artist, Stephen Hawking, a physicist, Marie Curie, chemist and Nobel Peace Prize winner, and me, a student. So, first off, why do atheists become atheists? As a child growing up, I grew up in a religious household, and I was actually sent to a Catholic school for the first 2 or 3 years of schooling. And growing up, I paid more attention to the world around me, and I realized that why would such a benevolent and omnipotent, omnipresent God allow so much suffering and so much hate? And with that questioning and with my skepticism, I realized that maybe there isn't a God. And I re-examined my beliefs, and I examined arguments for and against God, and I realized that it's more logical for me to not believe in a God. Oh, no. Next. Some obstacles that I faced was, for me, the fear of losing my friends, because I knew that I had a lot of religious friends, and I also spent most of my time in church and church class, and I made a lot of friends there. And I also feared of what my parents would say if I talked to them about my beliefs. So, atheists, like theists, share common beliefs amongst the group. Humanism is one of them. Humanism is a belief in the importance and good nature of humanity and ignoring the divine. An example of this is not believing in the afterlife. Because we don't believe in the divine or a supernatural being, we don't believe in an afterlife. And because we do not believe in an afterlife, we are more focused on what we do in this life instead of fearing whether or not we're going to hell or whether or not we're good enough for heaven. So we do this by contributing as much as we can to society positively. Next. And atheists tend to be skeptics, and this is because, of course, being an atheist after leaving religion requires a lot of critical thinking, a lot of skepticism, and asking questions about what you're told as truth. There are a lot of challenges that atheists face, and despite our harmlessness of our beliefs, we are still abused and discriminated against. According to CIA.gov, 2.01% of the population is atheist, and compare that to the religious minority, where about 33% are Christian. And this minority contributes to stigma and abuse because of misinformation. So there are a lot of misconceptions. According to my audience analysis, 10 out of 14 in this class know an atheist, but 6 out of 14 do not know about what it is to be an atheist or have a negative view on atheists. And one misconception is, take for example, famous atheist figures like Stalin. He has done a lot of bad things, as you might know. He's part of the Soviet Union and supports communism. But I would like to remind you that while there are bad atheists, there are also good atheists. And like religious people, there are also bad religious people and good religious people. Another misconception is that atheists are miserable, and I would like to say otherwise because I am actually a very happy person, and I can relate very well to this quote. And it says here, it's a strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite, we have nothing to die for, we have everything to live for. Meaning that we do not fear the afterlife. We focus more on this life and enjoy as much as we can here on earth. And we also face abuse, whether it's verbal or physical. On an individual level, this is Mubarak Bala, who is a Nigerian, and I have followed his story for a while now. And he came out as atheist, but there are many complications of this because he lives under Islamic rule. And because of this, he was beaten and drugged by family members after coming out. And he receives death threats from strangers online and in person if he was found. And however, he is currently free, but he is still in hiding in Nigeria and seeking for a home here in the U.S. There is currently a program out there raising money for him to come to the U.S. And there are fellow atheists, agnostics, and other people who are volunteering to let him stay around their area and around a campus for him to go to school. And from a worldwide standpoint, here in the U.S. there is also discrimination. 7 states here still have unenforceable laws on the books that prohibit atheists from holding public office. And around the world, there are 13 countries that have laws that revoke citizenship for, deny marriage of, and even kill atheists, according to AmericanHumanists.org. To conclude, being an atheist is eye-opening, but very challenging. Despite the stigma that I face every day being an atheist, I am not ashamed of what I believe in. And I believe that being an atheist is logical for me, and however, I will not ridicule you for your beliefs. I will not ostracize you for them. And I actually do, as I said before, have a lot of friends who are religious, and I am actually also dating a religious person. So I firmly do believe that we can coexist with each other if we just accept and learn from each other. Thank you.
Okay, questions?
That man cannot come here again.